Wow. DJ Vlad files lawsuit against Joyner Lucas over copyrighted clip. Now, let's take a look into this. Surely, Vlad, a well-respected citizen of society, mentor to the youth, surely he has a real reason for this. And, that miscreant Joyner Lucas, who is over there overseas attacking foreign rappers, too, by the way, from the UK. Shouts out to the UK, too, by the way. All right, let's go ahead and get into it here. DJ Vlad escalates situation to lawsuit after Joyner Lucas denies interview negotiations. Okay, first and foremost, what the hell is an interview negotiation being denied? I mean, let me put this in the proper perspective, ladies and gentlemen. This is not negotiating a contract with the Dallas Cowboys. It's, hey, are you available? No, I'm not. So let's get into it. We had this opportunity. So how is the situation, how is it escalated from there? All right, from an interview negotiation. Can you imagine it like, all right, the negotiation for the interview is off. All negotiations are off, and I'm filing a lawsuit. So let's see what is it that is going on here. So DJ Vlad has filed a federal lawsuit. Man, what is up with all of these rappers and this federale talk? All right, I mean, damn. All right, so he filed a federal lawsuit against rapper Joyner Lucas, accusing him of copyright infringement after Lucas allegedly reposted a Vlad TV interview clip without permission. How could Joyner Lucas do this? You know you have to go to the big-headed Russian god. All right, then, so Vlad is basically getting at him because he did not do the interview. Joyner Lucas didn't do the interview. And somehow Joyner Lucas posted a clip of Vlad TV without Vlad's permission. That means Vlad should be telling everybody, you need my permission. Matter of fact, it should be restricted content. Even further, it should be behind a paywall. I'm just going to be honest with you all. So according to an exclusive report from All Hip Hop's Grouchy Greg, shouts out to Grouchy Greg and All Hip Hop, they do very good work. Vlad is seeking up to $150,000 in statutory damages. All right, hold on here. Let me just say something real quick. And Sincere and I have talked about this. Like, this iteration of whatever we call rap or hip hop, it's completely reversed from its origin. This is like bizarro, me and hip hop flying upside down, to be honest with you. Basically, at this point in time, look, hip hop is against free speech, right? To press and all this other stuff. It's really against free speech. And I'm going to push it even further and say the industry is against free speech. This makes no sense. I mean, we're having more lawsuits flying around about expression, artistic expression, and freedom of speech. Back then with the great Luther Campbell and the Two Live Crew, you had the government looking to sanction the artists, specifically them. They're really the reason why we get that explicit sticker on the front of CDs, but we're way past CDs now. We're just saying, like, when you go to certain albums on Spotify or iTunes, you still see the digital explicit content. Well, it's pretty much Two Live Crew and some other acts that are primarily responsible for that. But, you saw that, like, there was this authoritative, like, old generation that was trying to restrict this rebellious, youthful energy. Like, today, bro, like, rap music, the industry rap music, the culture of hip-hop, it's so imprisoning. Like, it's so restrictive. Going back to Joe Budden, let me find out hip-hop's Republican. All right? So let's move on further down. So he wants $150,000 in statutory damages, reimbursement for legal fees. So you're going to sue me. He's suing over a post that, of course, Joyner Lucas did not ask his permission. This is really like Joyner Lucas's video with the black boy having that conversation with that old white man. All right, he need to film a part 2 to that. So not only that, but Vlad said, not only that, bro, you're going to have to cover my lawyer fees, my legal reimbursement. Now, I will say this about Vlad. He's been going in and out of controversy, looking to try to fly straight, but he just can't help it. Because right now he's in his Tekashi era, right? This is Tekashi Vlad, all right? So I'm sure for him, going by the old school of show business, because Vlad's from the old school of show business, any publicity is good publicity, right? So that's what he's going to go with. Everybody's going to be talking about this. But again, a lot of these federal lawsuits flying around in hip hop, I'm going to be honest, it's not a good look. It's just not a good look. You already have podcasters from the industry or industry adjacent podcasters or people on YouTube aspiring to become industry adjacent. You already have them being restrictive of their true opinion and thought. That's why a lot of the commentary in hip hop is just genuinely boring. My personal opinion, you may disagree, but Sid and I, we definitely feel like there's no excitement, truthful opinions or anything. You get a better conversation about music and hip hop, on the corner waiting at the bus stop with somebody, okay? So moving forward here, he's also requesting legal fees and a permanent injunction barring Joyner Lucas from using or sharing any Vlad TV content. What in the world? What in the hell? Man, come on, Vlad. What in the hell, man? Come on, man. Get back to the strip clubs and financing the sugar babies out there on the poles, man. Go do something here. Okay, so not only that, he's about to put one of the most unsuspecting, non-threatening rappers on parole. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Joyner Lucas in his raps is like a bit of like Will Smith with a little bit more like, I guess, jagged edge, or just think about like Will Smith with bad credit, okay? That's how I look at Joyner Lucas. I think he can piece words together. I think he's a decent rapper, but I'm just saying a permanent injunction barring Joyner Lucas. Like, Joyner Lucas is one of the last rappers I would think that needs to be restricted on some King Kong type shit. Like, that's what I'm getting out of this. Vlad got a very strange relationship with a lot of the Negroes in the industry. But I'll just tell you this. So he's saying, don't share none of my content, so you can't get the interview. And Vlad sat up there, I'm going to keep it trilling with you. He did sit up there and he was making fun of the whole Drake situation, talking about Drake lawsuit, I don't understand it, and what do you mean censorship and all this other stuff. Here come Vlad telling Joyner Lucas, because I didn't get the interview, I got to sue, and not only that, you can't share my stuff. This is what hip-hop media has become, and I'm going to keep it trilling with everybody. The culture has to hold itself accountable for this. You get what I'm saying? There's been plenty of other authentic platforms, Thought Crimes being one of them, but let's be real. People flocked where the controversy was. When Vlad had them killers and shooters on that couch, people sat over there on some Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar back on that couch, okay? So he's saying he wants to make sure that Joyner Lucas never reshares none of his stuff again. Okay, the big, bad, light-skinned man. All right? So the lawsuit also requests a full accounting of any profits Lucas may have generated from the viral post. Dog, it just sounded like he is literally running the same play that we saw last year. Let me see them splits. Let me see the contract. Look, I'm going to keep it real with you all. It's a sorry state in hip-hop and hip-hop media that this is the case here. All right, so Vlad, whose real name is, Vladimir Putin, who owns Hot In Here, Inc., the parent company of Vlad TV. Vlad claims Lucas posted a 5-minute segment from the outlet's popular interview series to X, formerly Twitter, account on July 6. He claims that he intentionally cropped out Vlad's watermark and was failing to provide credit. So Vlad is saying one way or another, I'm going to get that attention. I need that clout. I need that energy. I need that traffic. I'm in the business of media. It's a cutthroat business. It is a cutthroat genre. I need that. He says, you cropped out my name. Now, keep this in mind. Vlad has himself been accused of lifting, cropping, and all this other stuff in the past by other content creators as well. So I just find this ironic. But this is very interesting given that this is really centered, because Joyner Lucas's defense is that this has to do with the idea that I turned down your interview request, especially around the time, I think, when Joyner Lucas was running around with Will Smith, and that was a lot of attention. You know, Will Smith is one of the biggest actors in the world, slap and all. So I can see Vlad saying, yo, I need some of that. You running with Will Smith? I need some of that. All right. It says here, the clip in question features comedian Aries Spears. Oh, my God, Aries Spears, look what you got. Mocking British rap. Originally titled Aries Spears Clowns British Rappers. Okay, the shit sounds dumb, ridiculous. The lawsuit alleges Lucas uploaded the video to his 1.5 million followers, where it was quickly gaining viral traction. Moreover, it racked up over 4.4 million views, and Vlad said, how did I get all of that attention, but I got none of the credit? My clip got all of that attention, but none of the credit. It happens in media a lot. 2,800 reposts, 20,000 likes, all could have went to Vlad TV. All right. Before being removed following a Digital Millennial Copyright Act, DMCA. So Vlad is suing Joyner Lucas. It says Vlad's legal team argues that Lucas knowingly shared the copyrighted material. So Vlad says Lucas is being sassy with me. He has cuts in his eyebrows. He intentionally shared my material and cropped me out. Now, I believe from Lucas's tweets, he ended up stating that, you know, there's a lot of things he hates about Vlad TV. And there are a lot of rappers that do hate Vlad TV. There's a lot of people in media that can't stand Vlad TV or Vlad himself, right? But on the other side of the game, Lucas said, I gotta use this clip because I can't remember the brother's name in the UK, but they were having that UK battle where like all of the UK, because Drake went over there and he said, yo, y'all the best rappers on earth. And then, you know, they were like attack. And then so a lot of random UK rappers that I had never really heard of started attacking rappers in America. They was like, yo, I'm coming after Eminem and all this other type of stuff. Shouts out to the UK hip-hop drill trio Chirac Atlanta scene. But, you know, the general public in America wasn't interested in people that were clearly was going to get called Mary Poppins, Jerry Poppins. So it kind of phased out. But during that time, it was Joyner Lucas that was really the shining light in the middle of the battle, even though most people say I didn't have that much of an interest. But I did think Joyner Lucas gave some good punches in his response to some of the UK rappers. So Lucas decided to use a clip, and he allegedly cropped out Vlad's name. And Vlad said, yo, bro, like, yo, I've been trying to get this interview with you. You gonna crop me out? Lawsuit. So Vlad is also saying he wants to open up the books. This is very, very ridiculous, all right? But it says, however, in an unexpected twist, the complaint reveals that Vlad initially sought to resolve the matter privately. He reportedly offered to drop any legal claims in exchange for a Vlad TV interview with Joyner Lucas. However, negotiations allegedly collapsed after Lucas's manager, Dhruv Joshi, sent an expletive-filled text from Joyner's phone to Vlad's legal representatives, effectively shutting that down. All right, so there's the text right there. Look, man, so apparently this is coming across as some form of legal extortion. You know, I'm going to say this, shouty, man. Nasty work, Vlad. Nasty work. You know, look, I'll drop the lawsuit. Give me the interview. We can make this go away. Vlad look like he's trying to form his own Illuminati. Okay? Give me your firstborn and we'll make it go away. So that is the rift right now between Joyner Lucas and Vlad TV. But I will say this. I do find it very strange that a lot of federal lawsuits, a lot of running to the police, a lot of running to some of these people are getting ready to go to the Supreme Court. And you know what's crazy? This isn't really hip hop. Now, I'm not saying there hasn't been legal matters. There's been plenty of legal matters in hip hop, but for what these issues are, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of this stuff is really centered around speech. You know, even with Joyner Lucas sharing what he shared on Twitter, that still has to do with speech. Now, am I speaking in terms of freedom of speech? No, because you got terms of services, all right? So businesses are not obligated to do anything on the behalf of your freedom of speech if you choose to agree to the TOS. That's on any of these platforms, so that's the tricknocracy right there. But, you know, I just think overall, the idea of the level of sensitivity in hip hop, and you know, Senator was suspicious of this, but the level of sensitivity in hip hop it's gotten way too much out of hand. But this is the final result, final form of it. And look, I think it's just ridiculous. I think it's kicking off a very nasty trend. But they said the same thing happened with Cameron and J. Cole, that there was supposed to be a verse in exchange for a verse, but then J. Cole didn't come on the platform doing the Drake and Kendrick thing. And then so now Cameron is out here with a lawsuit himself. Then we saw what happened last year. Look, I also feel like it's not a trend I'm interested in, and it's already, you know, have a lot of like bad characters in hip hop. But then on top of this makes everything about the genre is looking moist right now. And we told you all about hip hop media just in general. A lot of times they will be contributing to censorship because they do it all the time. We've had direct issues with a lot of these characters even when we first started. So very competitive environment, but also do a lot of cheapskate stuff behind the scenes. And, you know, I'm sure more of it's going to come about. Very interesting. DJ Vlad files a lawsuit against Joyner Lucas over copyrighted clip. And then the idea about talking about, I need to see how much profits you made off of that and all this other stuff. It's very ridiculous. But again, this is the state of hip hop media. This is where it is. And look, it's a lot of low class stuff. But again, America has always been about the lawsuits. Again, ridiculous lawsuits have been filed on many different levels. A lot of them have been thrown out of court, but a lot of them have been successful. I'm your man, P Solo. Drop your comments below here on Thought Crimes to continue to further support this channel. You can definitely get over and support us and join any one of our tiers. We even have the open free tier. If you just want to stay up to date on news and exclusive material, you can get over to our Patreon. I'm out. Peace.
We are all the same. We are all the same. More group
Coming through your airwaves. All right, now I'm here to kick the ballistics. Check out Thought Crimes. Are you following me? Coming through your airwaves. Coming through your airwaves. You ain't gonna get me with that one.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is. It's a capo niggas in the building, you know. First and foremost, I just want to say shouts out to my niggas on the Patreon. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shouts out to the bitches, too. That's what we doing. But by the way, you know what I'm saying? Fuck all that nigga. Fuck all that nigga. Got my man T5.
Oh, shit,
we're gonna have a real conversation about what's going on in rap music. Well, yeah, because you know a lot of niggas, they be hating me out there. They hate me out there. Yeah, because I'm still a koofy smacker. So what, nigga? I said I was better than Nas. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you niggas? Bitch niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real nigga, unlike Cam's teeth, niggas. Bully! Anyway, niggas, yo, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. You niggas gonna get it first. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I always be delivering y'all work the first, niggas. Y'all know what time it is when I touch down. You know what I'm saying? The tri-state area, Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Chickens, Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you do, niggas. Jimmy's!
To this day. To this day.
turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
If he dies, he dies.
Go to our Patreon for more. And don't bother me.